Welcome. Let's look at how to annotate the chess moves today. And this is the chessboard, and first let us understand this one is first rank, this is second rank, this is third rank, fourth rank, fifth rank, sixth rank, seventh rank and eighth rank. And similarly, this is A file, B file, C file, D file, E file, F file, G file and H file. So if we have to name a square, say for example I want to name this square, so this is F4. So first it belongs to F file and then it belongs to fourth rank. So you got to put the file first, that is the letter first, and then the rank the next, that is the number the next. So this is how we write. So if we are mentioning this square, it becomes F4. If we are mentioning this square, it becomes D7. See, it belongs to D file and then the 7th rank. This is H8, this is H1, and if you want to name this, this is B4. So let's clearly understand. First we would put the letter and then the number, and the letter must be written in small letter, right? So and now let's go to the pieces. So when we are annotating, so we will write king as K, capital K, queen as capital Q, rook as capital R, knight as capital N. Since K belongs to king, we are taking the second letter, which is N. So N is knight. And for bishop we write B, and for pawn, the square to which the pawn is moving, we would note that square. So if the pawn is moving from E2 to E3, say for example, so the pawn here is in E2, E and then 2, the pawn is in E2 and it is going to move to E3, which means we just put E3. It is understood that the pawn has moved to E3. So now why should we annotate? So we should annotate to save our game for future analysis. And if you see, the earliest game in chess we have is that of 1600s. So in 1600s, when two people play and we could still analyze that game, we could still see that game, it is only possible because they have noted down the games. So noting down the game is very important for you, and if you are playing high level tournaments, it is compulsory for you to write too. So let's learn how to annotate. Say for example, this is the rook and rook is in D4. So we write capital R for rook and then we write D4. So if this is a knight and knight is on G8, we just put N, capital N, and then G8. So the file mentioned should always be in small letter. See here they have given it in small letter, so we should do it in small letter. So capital N refers to the piece knight, and then G8 refers to the square in which the knight is. So we'll go through this. So the into symbol represents capture. If you see a plus sign, that would be a check, and double plus sign would be double check, and then hashtag refers to checkmate. And to note down the kingside castle or the short castle, you just write O-O. So it is referred as double O. And then to note down the queenside castle, we write 3 O's, which is triple O. So we write like this, O-O-O. This is how the castling move is recorded. And then when we look at the chess results, we would notice 1-0. So the first column belonging to white and always the next column belonging to the black. So the game starts with the white move first, right? So if you find 1:0 in the chess result or at the end of any game, you can understand that the white has won that game. Or if you found like this 0-1, it means the black won the game. So when you find this half half point. If an half point, then it is draw. Both the player mutually agree to draw, or the position is draw. So this is how they annotate the results, chess results. So now let's learn to annotate a game. So the white player has moved to d4. So the first column, as I said, would be for white, and the second column would be for the black moves. So d4, first move is d4 for white, and then the black replies f5. So the black has kept the pawn to f5. So it is understood that only the f7 pawn can move to f5. And then the white has took his bishop and then moved it to g5. So here you could find a bishop symbol, but when you write or when you play tournaments, you can't simply be drawing bishop. So it is very standard practice to put capital B for bishop. So it would be bishop capital B g5, which means it is understood that the bishop has moved to g5. And then the black replies h6. So we have given h6, and then the white moves back to h4. So we would note this as capital B for bishop and h4. And then the pawn moves here. Black pawn moves to g5. And then the bishop takes a step back to g3. So this is noted as capital B bishop and g3, B g3. And then the pawn moves here. So this move is noted as f4. Since the pawn landed on f4, this move is noted as f4. Now the white has made this move, which is e3. So this was a game played long decades back. And then the black plays this. So this is h5. So the white has made e3, and then the black has made h5. So when we mention the square name, it is very much understood that the pawn has moved there. If it was any piece move, then we would surely mention that piece. So now bishop to d3. So we would write as capital B for bishop d3. And when we write bishop to d3, it is very much understood that only this bishop, which is on f1, can go here, because this bishop is only the light square bishop. So only the light square bishop travels light square. It's very much understood that f1 bishop has gone to d3. And now the rook goes to h6 for black. So we would note it down as capital R h6, and then the queen takes h5, and that is giving check to the black king. So we would note it as capital Q into h5. So as we learned, into symbol is for capture. So queen is the piece into which is capturing h5 pawn, and by doing so it is giving a check. So we are putting a plus sign. So the plus sign represents this move. Queen has gone to h5, capturing the pawn. So and that move has caused check to the black king. So queen h5 is check, and that is why we have put plus symbol here. And then the rook captures the queen. So black has to play now. Black rook captures the queen. So we would write R, capital R, into queen h5. Okay, so we will write capital R into h5, or the piece which was in h5, or we can also write capital R into q h5. And then the bishop goes here, and this is checkmate. So b g6, and then you put a hashtag, and that becomes checkmate. Bishop g6 checkmate. So this is how we write score sheet. Just we saw this game, and the score sheet for this game is this. So this is how we note it down. So as long as you note down your moves, it would be very beneficial for you to further work on it and make some improvement on your games. So now let's look at some more annotations which would be helpful for you when you are analyzing a game. So you would probably find these things in chess books. So the first thing, an exclamation mark means a good move. Say for example bishop c4, and you find an exclamation mark, which means the bishop c4 is a good move. And if you find double exclamation mark after a move, it means that is a brilliant move. If you find a question mark, that is a bad move. If you find double question mark, that is a blunder. If you find an exclamation mark and then a question mark, it means the move is interesting. If you find a question mark and then an exclamation mark, which means that is a weak move. If you find like this, a plus and then an equal symbol at the bottom of the plus, it means white and black are of same position, but white has slight advantage. Okay, so if you find like this a plus and then an equal to at the bottom, it means white and black are in same kind of position, equal position, but white has slight advantage. So if you find this symbol reverse, that is equal to, and then you find a plus at the bottom of the equal symbol, it means white and black are somewhat similar. They are positionally equal, but black has better positions. Black has a slight advantage. If you find like this, a plus and then a minus symbol at the bottom, which means white has the better position. So if you find that reverse, like a minus symbol, and then if you find a plus at the bottom of minus, it means black has a better position. If you find like this, plus and then minus follows it, then it means the white has winning position. If that is reverse like this, then it means black has the winning position. When there is an equal symbol, which means both are of equal position. So when you find an infinite sign, it means the position is unclear. Okay, so now when you find like this in chess book, you find a serial number and then you find some dots like this, and then you find a move after the dots, which means this game is continuing from the black side. Since white has to make the first move and the first column is for white and then the black plays after. If you were given a position and you have to write from black to move, then you should be using this format, which means you have to put the serial number and you have to put the dots representing white has made some move, and after that you make this move. This is the black's move. So any chess player or any chess coach will understand this. So if you were to answer from the black's point of view, then you have to put dots for the white and then you have to write the black's answer or the black's move in the second column. So only then that represents the black's move. If not, when you put the serial number and you just write the answer, which means white has made that move. Okay, if you put these dots and then write the answer, then it refers to the move was made by the black. Okay, so please use this notation and try saving your games, try annotating your games. So it will be very helpful for you to go back through your games and analyze and then rectify your mistakes. Thank you.